Hello everyone, I'm Dragons After Dark, and today we're continuing our pet collecting around Azeroth and Beyond series with Mount Hyjal. We're doing this 100% by zone, which will cover everything from wild pets to achievements, dungeons, quests, rare drops, and so on. During the video, we'll be going over the locations of the pet, different skins, and suggested breeds. Keep in mind for the breeds, it's purely a suggestion on my part, but I will be giving a short explanation on why I'd choose that particular breed. Overall, most pets are filler, so breed isn't super important, and you can always go back and catch another if you find you need a different one, so don't stress too much about it. Also, I will mention if a pet is cageable, so if you don't want to farm for it, you can just stop by your local auction house and grab one. So, let's get started. Mount Hyjal is a zone on the northern portion of Kalimdor and came to prominence during the Cataclysm expansion. The wild pet level for the zone is 22 to 24, and as always, the ones with asterisks by their names can be found in other zones. The alpine chipmunk can be found in the northern portion of Mount Hyjal. The alpine chipmunk comes in 1 skin and 6 breeds. The breed that stands out to me is the SS or speed breed. 1, make sure it can crouch sooner, and 2, you can also benefit from being faster than the enemy in combination with Stampede and the Shattered Defenses debuff. Because if you're faster in using this, it'll leave the enemy with 2 rounds of Shattered Defenses for your next pet versus 1 if you're slower. However, if you already have some speedy squirrels and you're looking for something with power, the health power or HP breed is okay at 289 power, but in general I'd go with the speed breed. The ash lizard can be found primarily in the south to southeast area of the zone. The ash lizard comes in 1 skin and 2 breeds. The breeds are almost indistinguishable from each other, but I'd go with the Power Balance or PB breed. You can always use Screech to make the enemy slower, which means we can take the slight edge in power over the Balance breed's greater speed. This pet also has Quick Attack, which means your attack will get to go first, barring the enemy having a similar attack and greater speed. Using Screech to make yourself faster, then Ravaging to heal when it's time to finish the enemy off can help extend the number of rounds this pet will last. The bat will only show up as a secondary pet in a battle here, making it a little difficult to hunt for specifically. You might have better luck waiting for another zone, like the Eastern Plagueland. The bat comes in 1 skin and 6 breeds. Since the health pool of each pet isn't terribly high, which can be an advantage for flying pets to keep their speed buff longer, you can go 2 different ways for this breed: speed or power. The power or PP breed would be good for using Nocturnal Strike if you've had another pet set up Call Darkness or a Blind. And you could always use Screech to help with the speed when you drop below 50%. The speed or SS breed comes in at 341 speed, but aside from Nocturnal Strike, nothing stands out in the bat's moveset to benefit from this. Having speed just means you'll get to attack first, which can make up for a lackluster moveset if you just need a flyer with beast attacks. The carrion rat can be found in a few locations around Sethria's Roost, Ascendant Circle, and the Seat of the Chosen. The carrion rat comes in 2 skins, gray and brown, and 5 breeds. Half of this pet's moveset lends itself well to speed. Flurry for the extra hit, Stampede to make sure it leaves the enemy with 2 rounds of Shattered Defenses instead of 1, and Survival to make sure you get a chance to use it. Combining Survival with Comeback can be advantageous in certain situations as well. That said, the speed or SS breed will get you a nice 341 speed, but the speed balance or SB at 305 can be okay. The Death's Head cockroach can be found in a few locations around the east edge of Sulfuron Spire, south of the Shrine of Goldwind, and just above the Circle of Cinders. The Death's Head cockroach comes in 1 skin and 2 breeds. As we've pointed out before, cockroaches are generally used for apocalypse, so aside from health to keep it alive for the move to hit, breeds for them are generally not something to worry about. However, given some of its moves, the Power Speed or PS breed is the better of the two. It has 305 speed, which could give you an extra hit on flank, a better chance to use survival at a good time, and leaving the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses from Swarm as opposed to 1. The Elfin Rabbit can be found in the northern portion of Mount Hyjal. The Elfin Rabbit comes in 3 skins, white and brown, brown, and white, and 2 breeds. As always, a good rule of thumb for rabbits is the faster the better. Its moveset is very suited to speed, which can give an extra hit to flurry, an extra round of dodge, burrowing first to avoid damage, and leaving the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1, so I'd recommend the SB or speed balance breed. The Fire Beetle can be found in the southern portion of Mount Hyjal. The Fire Beetle has 1 skin and 3 breeds. The Fire Beetle is part of a small number of critter pets that has an elemental ability which does strong damage against mechanicals. I'd personally go with the Health Power or HP breed. You can always hiss to reduce the enemy's speed if necessary, and then your 305 power can help eat through the enemy's HP with Burn, and have a nice big hit from Scorched Earth. The Fireproof Roach can be found in the southern portion of Mount Hyjal. The Fireproof Roach has 1 skin and 4 breeds. This is just another copy-paste Roach moveset, so the 2 breeds I'd look at would depend on what you want to do. If you're using it for Apocalypse, go with the HH or Health breed to keep your Roach alive. Otherwise, I'd grab the Health Speed or HS breed. It's not as fast as the Speed breed, however it does have more health at 1627, has 305 speed, and combined with Hiss you can probably overcome anything faster than that. The HS or the SS if you prefer will provide an extra hit for flank and leave your enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1 with Swarm. The Forest Moth will only show up as a secondary pet in battle here, making it a little difficult to hunt for specifically. You might have better luck waiting for another zone like Ashenvale or Desolus. This moth comes in 4 skins, blue with purple wings, red with green wings, white with black spots, and yellow with blue wings, and comes in 4 breeds. This moth doesn't have any breeds with good speed stats for Alpha Strike, and as a rule I tend to avoid Slicing Wind because of the inherent RNG of the move. It just doesn't make for a solid strat. Since Cocoon Strike is a more common choice over Adrenaline Rush, and given its lack of inherent speed, you might want something with more health like the HS or the HB breed to keep your flying buff longer. The Grotto Vole can be found in 1 location, just above the topmost western roots of Nordrassil as shown on the map. These are going to be in the Barrow Dens, so you will need to go underground to find them. The Vole comes in 3 skins, gray, brown, and white, and 5 breeds. Half of this pet's moveset lends itself well to speed. Flurry for the extra hit, Stampede to make sure it leaves the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1, and Survival to make sure you get a chance to use it. Combining Survival with Comeback can be advantageous in certain situations as well. That said, the Speed or SS breed will get you a nice 341 speed, but the Speed Balance or SB at 305 speed can be okay. The Nordrassil Wisp can be found in a circular area created by the roots of Nordrassil and the road leading to and from the tree. The Wisp comes in 1 skin and 6 breeds. In general, you're going to want the speedier breeds to make the best use of Flash and Soul Ward. The fastest is the SS, which has a speed stat of 357, with the next two fastest being the SB and HS at 322 speed. The rabbit will only show up as a secondary pet in battle here, making it a little difficult to hunt for specifically. You might have better luck waiting for another zone, like Elwyn Forest, Red Ridge Mountains near Lakeshire, a couple spots in the Stone Talon Mountains, but your best bet will be Stormwind City proper. This pet comes in 2 skins, brown and white, and 6 breeds. A good rule of thumb for rabbits is the faster the better. Its moveset is very suited to speed, which can give an extra hit to flurry, an extra round of dodge, burrowing first to avoid damage, and leaving the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1, so I'd recommend either the SS or SB breeds. An SS breed will get you 357 speed, but only 227 power. But if you're looking for one that might have a little more oomph, the SB has 322 speed and 240 power. The Rock Viper can be found in the southern portion of the zone and just south of the Regrowth. This pet comes in 2 skins, black and blue, and 2 breeds. This pet has a typical snake moveset. However, it doesn't have any fantastic power stats to effectively use Counter-Strike or get a really good build from Vicious Fang. So mostly you'd use it with Burrow and Bite, and maybe setting up Hiss's speed reduction for the next pet. That said, I'd go with the SS for those reasons. The Silky Moth can be found around Nordrassil and the Circle of Cinders. The Silky Moth comes in 4 skins, blue with purple wings, gray with black spots, white with black spots, and beige with blue and brown spots, and 3 breeds. Since none of the moths have large variations in health and not too much variation in power, we want to look at speed. A speed breed, or SS, will get us a 357 speed stat, though the other 2 breeds still come in at over 300 speed with a little more power. If you need something with a little more oomph, the Speed Balance, or SB, will get you 257 power with 322 speed, which isn't too shabby. The Squirrel will only show up as a secondary pet in battle here, making it a little difficult to hunt for specifically. You might have better luck waiting for another zone, like Feralis or Terrakar Forest, but has the most spawn points in Stormwind City proper. The standard squirrel comes in 1 skin and 5 breeds. You can benefit from being faster than the enemy for crouch, as well as stampede and the shattered defenses debuff, because if you're faster in using this, it'll leave the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses for your next pet, versus 1 if you're slower. So I'd grab something with speed, like the SS or SB breeds. The Twilight Beetle can be found on the eastern shore of the Sulfuron Spire lava lake, south of the Shrine of Goldrin, and just north of the Circle of Cinders. This pet has 2 skins, gray and red, and purple and black, and 5 breeds. This pet actually has a range of breed options for health, power, and speed. However, we can narrow this down to the speed and health options. As with most beetles, this pet is likely to be used for its Apocalypse ability, which means you want enough health to survive until it lands, which would be the HH breed. However, you could also grab an HS breed, which has 305 speed, to pair with getting an extra attack from flank, using survival at an opportune time, and leaving the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses from Swarm instead of just 1. The gold mini Jouster and blue mini Jouster are quest and daily quest pets available as part of the Mount Hyjal zone. The initial pet you choose, either blue or gold, is a reward from the quest Egg Wave, which starts at The Hatchery Must Burn. The Hatchery Must Burn is number 76 in the storyline series, so you'll complete this as part of getting the Lore Master for the zone and or working on unlocking the Molten Front. You have two options for getting the second pet. Run an alt through the Hyjal storyline again, or unlock the Molten Front to get access to the daily quests. However, this particular daily won't be in the Molten Front. It has its own instanced portal in the Regrowth at the coordinates listed in the description. The portal is bluish, and you just walk through it. There won't be anything for you to click on. Once you unlock the Molten Front, you can do the Vigilance on Wing daily quest, and after you do it 10 times, it will award you with the achievement, the Unbeatable Pterodactyl Eaten, which will in turn give you a chirping box that allows you to pick the color you didn't get from Egg Wave. I'll post all the pertinent links in the description. The Molten Front is an instanced daily area in Mount Hyjal that you have to unlock through completing the storyline quest chain for the zone. I've seen places that state you only need to complete the chain up until Asena's Miracle, at which point you get the Guardians of Hyjal calling from the Heroes board in your city. But that guide was created in 2011, so I'm not sure if or how it has changed. If you find that this isn't the case, your best bet is to complete the Lore Master achievement for the zone, then check back with Motto Claw at the Sanctuary of Malorn. Some people have also reported that boosts might only need to go to Motto Claw at the Sanctuary of Malorn, and the quest chain needed to unlock the Molten Front will already be available. Once you complete that, Motto Claw will offer you Opening the Door. You'll go through a short quest chain that will then unlock access to the Molten Front. Once you unlock the Molten Front, you're looking at roughly a month of dailies to gain access to the vendors that have the pets you're looking for. I'll post the Warcraft Pets community guide to unlocking the vendor of the Molten Front in the description. The Searing Scorchling is listed as a vendor pet in the Molten Front from the NPC Zendvorka and costs 30 marks of the World Tree. However, that isn't quite accurate. The vendor actually sells you a bag called Zendvorka's Cash, which has a roughly 5% chance to drop the item Scorched Stone, which will then teach you the pet. To gain access to this vendor, you need to complete the Additional Armaments quest. However, this pet is cageable, so you can also purchase it off the auction house. As an interesting side note, this pet originally dropped in the Burning Crusade expansion from the Frost Lord Ahun, a holiday boss part of the Midsummer Fire Festival, but was transferred to Zendvorka's Cache in 2010. The Crimson Lasher is a vendor pet from Ayla's Shadowstorm that costs 1,500 gold. To gain access to this vendor, you'll need to complete the Filling the Moon Well quest. This pet is cageable, so you can also purchase it off the auction house. The Hyjal Bear Cub is a vendor pet from Varlin Hybo that costs 1,500 gold. To gain access to this vendor, you'll need to complete the Calling the Ancients quest. This pet is cageable, so you can also purchase it off the auction house. There are 4 pets available from the Cataclysm raid known as the Firelands. The entrance to this raid is located at the Sulfuran Spire in the southern portion of the zone. All of the pets listed below are cageable, so you can purchase them off your auction house. The Blaze Hound comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds, and has a 6% drop rate from the boss Shanox. The PvP tier listing on Xufu's Pet Guides has the Blaze Hound listed as a Tier 3 pet and recommends either the SB or PP breeds. PvE would likely mirror these recommendations, though I'd lean more toward the SB for PvE simply because most of its moves would pair well with the 305 speed from this breed. The Cinderweb Recluse comes in 1 skin and 1 breed and has a 6% drop rate from the boss Bethtalak. Since the pet only comes in 1 breed, there's nothing to recommend here. It has a very nice model, but a somewhat inefficient moveset where Brittle Webbing and Spiderling Swarm share a slot. This pet mostly lands in the collector category. The Infernal Pyreclaw comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds and has a 6% drop rate from the boss Majordomo Staghound. The PvP tier listing on Xufu's pet guides has the Infernal Pyreclaw listed as a Tier 2 pet and recommends the PB breed. PvE would likely mirror this recommendation. Given that none of the speed stats are terribly strong, it's best to go with power. Surger comes in 1 skin and 2 breeds and has a 5% drop rate from the boss Balerock. Surger isn't listed on either the PvP or PvE tier list. However, the current recommended strat for Sir Galveston on Xufu's power leveling guide uses a Surger. Take this with a grain of salt, because Blizzard may change something to break that strat, but as of April 2021, it's still viable. Given that both breeds have the same power stat, you might find more use from the SS breed with its 357 speed. And that's it! We've completed our visit to Mount Hyjal for pet collecting around Azeroth and beyond. On our next stop, we'll be visiting Azshara, Ashenvale, and the Stone Talon Mountains. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for stopping by, and happy battling!